Good morning, friends. Today we want to learn the first topic from our syllabus, that is the concept of chromatography. In that chromatography, we want to learn the study of HPLC. So, the chromatography is an analytical method that the compound are physically separated prior to measurement. We want to separate the compound before analysis by using this chromatographic technique. The main purpose of the chromatography is the separation for prior to quantification of a target molecule. That means we want to separate the compound before analysis so that we can be quantify this compound separately. Now, this chromatography is classified into basic three classes as liquid chromatography, gas chromatography, and supercritical fluid chromatography. This is the basic chromatographic type. We are interested in liquid chromatography. So, the history of chromatography, we want to learn what is the history. This is the first scientist who developed the chromatography, and this is the schematic representation of chromatography. This is a type of column chromatography. In column chromatography, they are taken a glass tube, and in that glass tube they are filled a calcium carbonate as a stationary phase. Then the analyte was chlorophyll. They want to separate the various components of chlorophylls. So they are added chlorophyll as an analyte, and then the petroleum ether as a mobile phase. The chlorophyll pigment and their constituent having a different affinity to calcium carbonate, and that's why their runtime are different. And so when they are entered into the stationary phase, due to the different interaction, they are separated and they are isolated. So this is the schematic representation of column chromatography. This is the classical column chromatographic representation. Here, this is the reservoir of mobile phase. Chromatography, there is a same arrangement as we previously seen. Here, there are four basic stages. First, addition of the sample, followed by addition of the solvent. Then, gravitational flow take place due to the gravitational effect. Then, the collection of the fractional collector, and then this collected sample is analyzed by offline technique. So this is the basic of classical column chromatography. Then the next thing, column chromatography. The column chromatography having the advantages. What are the advantages of the column chromatography? Column chromatography having the advantages like this column chromatography is very inexpensive. Inexpensive means we are using a very uh, that means we are using equipment that are not very expensive. So this is the inexpensive technique. Then second, this technique is the simple one. Simple one because we are using just a simple glass tube. Then we are using a stationary phase, and we are using the mobile phase. So there is no driving forces or sophisticated equipment or tedious equipments. So this is the simple technique. Then it is good for preparative work. That means when we want to manufacture in large quantity, or when we want to prepare analyte in large amount, at that time this technique is used. But it's having some disadvantages, like this technique is slow because we are working on the basis of gravitational force, and that's why the driving force is very slow. Second, low resolution, because this is the manual technique and we are using the offline technique for the analysis. So whatever the resolution we are getting as compared to the other technique, it is very low. Then it is difficult to quantitate. That means for the we are using this for the qualitative purpose to measure, but for the measurement in small amount, it is very difficult in column chromatography. Now we want to differentiate between the TLC and HPLC. So here the type of analysis. In TLC we can do the qualitative analysis. That means we are just determining which compound are present. Okay. But in HPLC we can determine qualitative and quantitative. That means we can determine which substance or which analyte is present, as well as we can determine its quantity, how much the substance is present. Then stationary phase. In TLC we are using two-dimensional stationary phase. That means we are using a thin layer glass plate. But in HPLC we are using three-dimensional column. The column that are packed in the glass tube, or it may be packed into the stainless steel content, or it may be packed into the nylon and other content. So they are packed in such a way that they are producing the three-dimensional structure. Okay. Then instrumentation. For TLC there is the minimum instrumentation is required, but for the HPLC there is much more adjustment is there, and we are using very complicated equipments. Okay. And so we are having lot of parameters, variable parameters, and that can be adjusted. Then sample application. In TLC we are applying sample by using capillary and giving a spot, but in HPLC we are giving the injection of sample in Riodine injector. Then mobile phase movement. In TLC the movement of the mobile phase by a capillary action, but in HPLC we are providing high pressure so that mobile phase can be moved from the column. Visualization of the result. In TLC we are using UV light box to visualize the result, but in HPLC we are using online detectors. That means UV visible detectors, fluorescent detector, refractive index detector, PDA detector. Number of types of the different detectors we are using in HPLC. Form of the results. The results we are getting in the TLC we are getting in the form of RF value, that is called as the retention factor. In HPLC we are getting the result in the form of peak, and this is called as the RT, the retention time, and we can measure the peak area so that we can quantify that particular compound. HPLC chromatography, there is a use of pump. We are using the pump rather than gravitational force so that we can increase the speed of analysis. Second modification in HPLC, that is the columns we are using in HPLC, they are packed column with the small particle size so that the surface area can be increased and we get the higher resolution. It's provide a better mass transfer. The third point, that variety of online detectors that can be used, and they are flexible to apply on different compounds. So we want to learn the different advantages of HPLC. So first advantage of HPLC, that this equipment is widely applicable in many fields. Then the resolution of this system is very high. Then the time of analysis is very low. That means this is a rapid analysis technique. The HPLC is having the higher sensitivity as compared to the column chromatography, and it's a reproducible system. That means the excellent reproducibility is achieved by using HPLC. This technique can be used for the quantitative as well as qualitative purpose, and this system can be easily automated. So these are the some advantages of HPLC. HPLC, because HPLC we can use for the simultaneous analysis. HPLC give high resolution, it's having the higher sensitivity, small sample size, that means sample size can be required in ppm, parts per million, or some cases part per billion. It is having the good repeatability. In modern analytical condition, there is no need of vaporization in HPLC, but this is required in gas chromatography. That means it is advantageous over the GC. Easy to fractionate the sample and it's purify. Then this is non-destructive technique. This is the most important advantages of HPLC. Where we can apply this HPLC. So the HPLC is applied in many fields, but some are listed here as pharmaceuticals. A typical mixtures like antibiotics, sedatives, steroids, analgesic, crude drugs, and cosmetics that can be analyzed by using HPLC. In biochemicals like amino acid, protein, peptide, carbohydrates, lipid, enzymes, and hormones that can be analyzed using HPLC. In analysis of the food products like mycotoxic, additives, saccharides, amino acid, vitamins, fatty acids, coloring agents, and antibacterial agents can be analyzed. Industrial chemicals, they can be used to analyze various surfactant, propellant, dyes, polymer, plasticizers, and condensed aromatics compound. Then, for the forensic chemistry, the various drugs, poison, blood alcohol, narcotics that can be analyzed using HPLC. In environmental sciences, inorganic ions, organic acids, agriculture chemicals, pesticides, herbicides, phenols that can be analyzed by using HPLC. In clinical and in medicine, it can be used to determine bile acid, drug metabolites, urine extracts, and various hormones like estrogen. So these are the some applications or applications of HPLC. Now the separation mechanism in HPLC. So here the compounds are separated because the molecules move at the different rate in the column. This is the column, the pink color column. In that column, the stationary phase is filled, and the analyte at the initial stage, the analyte are added. Due to the different interaction of this analyte with the stationary phase, we get the resolution. The less interactive compound is separated along with the mobile phase first, and higher interactive molecule are retained in a column and it is eluted later on. So we want to see diagrammatically. So this is the column and the mobile phase is flowing from the column. Now in this column we are adding a 2 analyte. In this column we are adding a 2 analyte. Okay, so the first analyte, when we are adding, the weaker interaction with the stationary phase, due to this analyte is retained very less and eluted first, as shown in the diagram. The first peak is because of this weaker interactive compound and it is eluted first. Then the blue color analyte, it's having the strong interaction with the stationary phase and so it is eluted later on, and that's why we getting the separation of these two analyte as 1 and 2. That means weaker compounds or weaker interacting compound with the stationary phase and mobile phase, they are eluted first, and the stronger interaction compound with the stationary phase and mobile phase, they are eluted second, and by this way we are achieving the separation in the column. Okay, so due to the different interaction between stationary phase and different samples, the molecules move at the different rates and therefore the separation can be achieved. Separation modes. By considering the separation technique, there are different types of the chromatographies are there, as the normal phase chromatography. This is the first type of the chromatography according to the separation modes. Then reverse phase chromatography, then ion exchange chromatography, then size exclusive chromatography, then affinity chromatography. Sufficient for the lecture first of HPLC. We see the later one in the next part. Thank you.